Hey, what up, guys? So coming to you this morning with another What's Next. This one is going to be on undefeated former super middleweight champion Gilberto Ramirez. Ramirez is currently number 9 in the 175-pound light heavyweight division for me. He hasn't fought since last April of 2019 when he debuted at 175. Excuse me. And got a 4th-round TKO victory over former world title challenger Tommy Carpensy in his debut at 175. He's currently the WBC and the WBO's #1 contender, but WBO hasn't updated their rankings since the coronavirus pandemic happened. They haven't updated anything, so there has been movement, and I'm almost positive, 99% sure that Gilberto Ramirez is dropping out of the top 10, or dropping down at least. He's not going to be #1 anymore. And the WBC, he's #1 right now, but I don't know if he's going to be competing for anything. The reason why the news on him is he was supposed to be in the 4-man box off. He was the highest rated seed going in for the WBO, the vacant WBO title that Canelo gave up, and he failed to show up for the purse bid or confirm that he was going to be in the purse bid against Eliter Alvarez, and the WBO dropped him out. The reason for that I'm hearing is that I've been hearing is that he wants out of his top-ranked contract, and he's trying to buy out of that contract. So that's why he didn't fight at all last year after that debut at 175, and not sure what he's planning on doing next. I'm hoping he comes back though. So let's take a look at what's next for Gilberto Ramirez. Run through the top 10. We start with #1, undefeated WBC IBF champion Artur Beterbiev. This is possible if the WBC mandates Ramirez to challenge for the WBC title next after Beterbiev's done with Meng Fanlong. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ramirez is going to, even if he were to fight Beterbiev, he'd want for the title, he'd want a world title shot. But with Beterbiev signed with Top Rank and Ramirez trying to get out of his Top Rank contract, I don't know. I don't know if that fight's going to happen. I at least don't think it's going to happen next for Ramirez. So let's just say that. #2 is former 3-time champion Sergey Kovalev. I guess this fight's possible if they both wanted it. Kovalev looks like he's a promotional free agent now, as he was about to fight on a DAZN card in April. So it doesn't look like he's currently with Top Rank anymore. So he could pretty much do whatever he wants. If Ramirez were to get out of the contract, I think him and Kovalev could share the ring with each other. But I think Kovalev's probably looking for, both guys are next probably going to look for something a little less challenging. So I don't think it's going to happen next. Next at #3 is Eliter Alvarez. Now this fight could have happened. It was supposed to happen, but Ramirez backed out of it. So it's not going to happen now. So this fight's no chance. #4 is undefeated WBA champion Dimitri Bivol. Now this fight could happen next, and the reason I'm saying that is Eddie Hearn is desperate to get Dimitri Bivol a top-end opponent. And Gilberto Ramirez, I heard at the beginning of the year, was close to signing on for a title fight against Dimitri Bivol. But again, he's trying to get out of that contract with Top Rank, and it doesn't look like it's going too well right now. But if he, for some reason, got out of that contract, him and Bivol could share the ring next. So I do think this fight is possible. I'm going to lean towards a no, but I do think it's possible. Next at #5 is former world champion, former WBC champion Alexander Volcik. Now, this fight I think is possible next because if he gets forced to stay with Top Rank, stay in his contract with Top Rank, Gilberto Ramirez, he's the #1 in the WBC, and Volcik is the #2. Ramirez might take the fight, the final eliminator, to determine the mandatory #1 guy next for Beterbiev, the unified champ. So I think that is possible. Again, I'm going to lean towards the no because he hasn't fought in a while. He might want to come back and take a tune-up bout, but if he's forced into eliminator or they're dropping him out of the rankings, he might have to take this fight. Volcik's coming off a loss anyways, so I think Ramirez might just go for it. It is possible. Next to number 6 is WBA regular champ Jean Pascal. Not happening. Pascal's looking at a Badu Jack clash, a rematch with him next. So this fight's not going to happen. Number 7 is Marcus Brown, who no chance at this one next. Brown is looking at other options right now. Actually, it could happen in some kind of a WBC eliminator, I guess, but this is PBC working with Top Rank, and I don't think they're going to get together for something like this, especially with the contract issues that Ramirez has right now. Next to number 8 is Badu Jack, former 2-division champ. Jack looks like he's in line to challenge Pascal in a rematch for the WBA regular belt, so this fight ain't happening next. And then, Ramirez is number 9, and then Joe Smith Jr. sits at number 10. That's not happening either. Joe Smith actually replaced Ramirez in the 4-man box-off for the vacant WBO title, and is likely going to face Eliter Alvarez next. So, Gilberto Ramirez, that's him against the top 10. What do I personally think he's going to do next? Honestly, guys, I have no fucking clue. With these contract disputes, sometimes these things take forever. Sometimes guys are out of the ring multiple years. I mean, look at Mikey Garcia. I think he was out of the ring 2.5 years trying to get out of his top-rank contract. So, it's really sad because Ramirez is undefeated. He does have some talent, and we really are waiting to see how good he is. So I hope he gets out of his contract, or they force him into staying and he resumes his career, because especially with Top Rank, they have so many options right now at light heavyweight. It would be a shame for him to miss out on that, whether it's because of contract dispute or because he decides to go somewhere else. But if you ain't happy, you ain't happy, and Ramirez might need to make a decision and go fight somewhere else. So we'll see. Personally, I think he's going to come back, take a tune-up bout. But then again, he could go for a world title depending on where he lands, with what promotion. Could be a final eliminator. I think anything's kind of possible right now. If I had to pick one thing, I'd say a tune-up bout. I think an eliminator with Vodcik, if he stays with Top Rank, is possible. And then I think a title fight against Dimitri Bivol, if he's allowed to go sign with somebody else and go after, and sign with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So just got to wait and see. All right, guys, that's the What's Next on Gilberto Ramirez. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.